There's nothing like it in the whole world. There's a rain I'm singing in. It sounds a little something like smooth jazz. My scat, scouting like my rats. I'll find my love in the crowd and I won't stop until I have released my soul. Every shadow from every raindrop knowing she's my favorite person in the whole wide world. It doesn't make sense till you see her smile. Up until then, you were waiting on waves. The clouds are too hot, the flood levels are rising. Now, it's the best time of our lives. My life, this time. There's nothing like it in the whole world. I hitched a ride on a lightning bolt, the first opportunity I got. It will probably be the last chance I have to get down to earth from this heaven. Something happened. It's not your fault. Yes, I ran to the front, opened the bay doors, but I was pushed. I'm glad I was, or else I wouldn't have ever known that's all I ever wanted. To feel the wind beneath my wings, then crater into the dirt. Can't you see? I will love you, even if it hurts. The world's feelings. There's nothing like it in the whole world. Running through my veins, lightning bolts, connected to the negative and positive parts of my heart. Such a long pause. It should have been called a stop. But with this type of charge, it's bound to restart. There's nothing like it in the whole world. I gave her my mind, I gave her my body, I gave her my soul. I'm trying to find other things to give her, but she refuses to accept anything about my past. That's her giving me my present. She only knows my future, and I'll ask her how long will it last. She interrupts with a forever, says we must only look forward. I guess the desert of salt pillars was like an ocean. I guess that ocean of tears was more like a valley, and that valley of fear was closer than we thought to our happy ending. That's why conventional methods of travel weren't working. I had to grab her hand and follow in order to get this close to our tomorrow. There's nothing like it in the whole world. And then you left, leaving a whisper of a shadow for me to etch into the walls of my mind. I stared at this museum of smiles and frowns, wondering what sound I would have to announce to crumble them down. It didn't take much. I sent a letter before my arrival. It only required a hello. Before, after waiting in line, patiently keeping my distance, cleverly wording my wishes. Genies tend to take requests out of context. No wonder this time around, time is moving backwards. There's nothing like it in the whole world. Ever so often, looking out the blinds gets boring. This time around, took a lighting of a cigarette to ease the tension. There's nothing like it in the whole world. She comes to me and lets her hair down, running her fingers through the entanglement. The one I'm in. The one when I dropped my bow and all of my arrows, then chose to go deep into her forest. Smooth pieces of obsidian dropping like breadcrumbs as I unlatched the quiver from my back. The sound of ash wood snapping among the other tree branches. Spider silk dissolving in the trail of blood I followed to plead and hope she would believe it was all an accident. I didn't think the red river I was seeing was actually an upstream flow of me bleeding that still led to her den. There's nothing like it in the whole world. It's a poem, but it happens all the same. She called his name. The headstones upon the grave started shaking. She was pouring tears upon his frame all the same the second time, whispered during the gust from the storm's rain. She had to yell out, "Before I bust," denying the worms and vermin their meals today. There's nothing like it in the whole world. What would you like for me to say? That my days weren't lonely while you were away? That I hoped your pneumatic heart I held in my chest would have stopped beating? It didn't. It cried out in sorrow, a mourning reminder as I ran my fingertips over the extra threaded sheets and pillows, barely retaining the heat you left, the fire you ignited, dissipating, hoping it's only till the train gets to the next station, hoping there's a lump of coal that I can hold that will create enough steam to get us over this mountain, through this valley, across this ocean to end up on your shores. There's nothing like it in the whole world. In the quiet hour of a late night, she told me, "You need not worry." She said, "I can't imagine how much you are hurting." She continued with, "I can help you seek out what you were searching for." She already had a key. We were now traveling to a door, a hidden treasure, a two-way mirror where I saw her, and as she looked upon herself, she felt my awe, an ocean view from an elevated shore. There's nothing like it in the whole world.